Now, maybe one of the most famous wedding gifts of our time, a food basket presented to two brides, was not well received. In fact, it spawned a text and Facebook messaging war. The conversation between bridal party and guests has gone viral after being published in a Canadian newspaper and has really opened up the debate of wedding gift etiquette. Well, Tim Wilcox joins us now from the World's newsroom. It's a tricky one now, isn't it, Tim? You can't just go and give someone a toaster anymore.
No, you can't, and you're right. This really has gone viral because, get this, the guest who gave the gift to these two brides, the basket was of treats including pasta, salsa, olive oil, and then she said a few fun items like marshmallow fluff, which sounds disgusting, and sweets. The brides weren't impressed, as you say. In that feud, the bride wrote, "I'm not sure if it's the first wedding you've been to, but for your next wedding, people give envelopes." Basically, she's saying, I lost out on $200 covering you and your date and got fluffy whip and Sour Patch Kids in return. The gift giver replied, "To ask for a receipt is unfathomable. In fact, it was incredibly disrespectful. It was the rudest gesture I have encountered." It's a wonderful spat. It's worth reading online. The one line which actually leapt out at me was one of them accusing the other of having the etiquette of a twig. Let's just have a chat with some of my BBC colleagues here to see what they do in other countries. Let's just start with Anna Dorodenko, who's from BBC Russian service. On my right, we've got Rana Raimpour from BBC Persian, and then BBC World News journalist Samantha Barry. Samantha, just give us some of the reaction online to this.
Everybody online thinks that it's a huge lesson in bad manners. It's very enjoyable, as you said, to read the whole transcript. And it's not bad manners on the part of the person that gave the humble basket of food, but rather from the bride. Brides are supposed to give thank you notes, not aggressive texts and emails. My favourite part has to be where the bride insinuated that weddings are where you make a profit. In one text she said weddings are to make money for our future, not to pay for people's meals. But most people online are thinking that it's supposed to be a milestone. It's supposed to be where you celebrate with your family and friends, not where you turn a profit.
No, but there are some cultures, aren't there, where people do expect money.
And money is, it is common around the world, from Japan to China to Spain to in Nigeria. The bride walks around with a decorated bag where everyone fills it with envelopes of money. So it is becoming more common, but I think what a lot of wedding guests don't want is the expectation that they're paying a ticket price to go into a wedding.
No, Rana, what happens in Iran?
In Iran, no cash changes hands, but they give gold and jewellery to the bride and groom. It's only their close family and friends who have to do it, but they announce it publicly. So at the ceremony, they say the uncle of the groom has given 2 gold coins, and then sometimes the bride has to wear 5-6 necklaces, and by the end, they're quite heavy, carrying
and
about 2
kilos. And do people ever say that's a bit mean?
Well, no, it's a part of the culture, so they accept it. But it's sometimes people get into debt in order to keep their faces and buy some very expensive jewellery.
Anna, what happens in Russia? How generous are people there?
Cash is actually the most common gift, cash. Sort of the decent amount, what's supposed to be the decent amount to give is $50 upwards, but the most common amount is about $150.
What, $150 even if you are earning perhaps a relatively average salary, low salary, what, $400, $500? That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Seems like it, yeah. An acquaintance of mine has given a quarter of their salary. Their salary was $400, and they gave a quarter of that, $5,000. Oh, sorry.
$400.
Yeah.
So in fact, you don't really want to be invited to too many weddings if people are expecting a quarter of your salary. Rana, what is the biggest faux pas you can commit in Iran if you are invited to a wedding?
If you are close family, not giving any presents is unacceptable. So they have to give something. But the closer you are to the bride and the groom, the more expensive the present should be. But they're lucky if you're not related to the bride and the groom, you don't have to give anything. You can just bring some flowers, and even if you don't do that, nobody would mind.
Just briefly, Samantha, I think your sister or brother is married to a Swede.
Swedish
just what happens there? I'm not so much in guests, but just in terms of etiquette and faux pas.
About what you wear. If you wear red to the wedding, it means it's a symbol that you've had a previous relationship with the bride or the groom, so stay clear of red dresses.
Okay, so you just keep your red t-shirts and dresses here for work, do you? Samantha, Rana, Anna, thank you very much. Back to you, Lucy. I hope you had some generous gifts for your wedding.
It's a bit of a minefield, isn't it, Tim? Thanks very much for joining us. Do stay with us here on BBC World News.